Howdy, Knuckers.
Hey.
Hold on. I don't even know if that's working.
It says recording.
Oh, okay. New technology, giving it a shot. We're still on YouTube.
Not yet.
Well,
We'll get
if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're not, if you're just listening to the podcast, check this out on YouTube. The mic should probably be closer to you.
Yeah, because
I'm loud,
you're loud.
Apparently. So,
yes.
We don't know. Is this the last episode of season 2 or first episode of season 3?
Let's call it a hybrid.
Yeah. This is like the Christmas special in Black Mirror.
Nothing,
with John Hamm.
Nothing like that.
Exactly like it. Standalone, you don't know.
John Hamm could probably come on our podcast. I'd be 100% okay with that.
Well, we're in negotiations right now.
It's either going to be a Skip the Dishes commercial or just talk about hockey.
Okay, my father-in-law told me today that's his favorite commercial.
Which one?
The Skip the Dishes
Yeah,
one.
but he has the whole bunch.
Oh, yeah, but the one where he's hey, yo, Brennan, hit me with some wet wipes.
Give me the shirt. Who wants the shirt? Oh, me.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. John Hamm's a beauty. All right. So last time we talked, we were talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Because there was not hockey to talk about.
Right.
And yeah. How many times did we try and do a podcast?
Oh, I lost count a long time ago.
So we were going to do a playoff preview. And then we were like, before the second round.
Yeah. And
then before the conference final. And we said, maybe before the Stanley Cup final. We couldn't even fucking do that.
No. We're a day late with that, too.
Exactly.
Life has been busy.
That it has.
But hey.
COVID hasn't stopped us.
Here we are.
We made it.
That's right. COVID hasn't stopped
us. We made it. And I'm technically saying this is season 3.
Yeah. Well, because theoretically or normally. Yep. Get that on the camera and mic. We would be talking preview of the season sometime around mid-September. So
yeah,
it's just we're talking about the Stanley Cup Finals this year.
Exactly. So let's just dive right into that, eh?
All right.
We'll talk about what we see. Well, first of all, just kind of give me your idea of how you think the bubble's gone. Are you surprised that it's gone this well?
No, I'm not actually. I feel like that's why it took so long for the NHL to reinstate this season is because they wanted this to go well.
Yeah.
Because if it didn't go well, then their next season was in jeopardy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because, obviously the discussion is that there may have to be a bubble for next season. And if this failed this year, that would have never happened for next year. So I'm actually really happy that it hasn't failed.
Do you think the hockey hasn't been as good as it would have been?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to say. There's certain teams not coming up with an excuse for my Edmonton Oilers.
Here we go.
For performance in the playoffs or play-in, which a lot of people are like, that means they missed the playoffs. I'm like, no, it doesn't really, but it does. It's fucking weird.
This year.
But do you think there's certain teams, like the Canadian markets especially, that not having the people in the audience really did contribute a bit?
Not even the Canadian markets, like a team like Vegas that always has entertainment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At their home games. I think it plays on the morale of the players a little bit, especially because most of these people are away from their families. Most of them have children that they haven't seen in weeks or months.
Yeah, lucky bastards.
What?
To be away from their children.
Oh, fuck.
No, just kidding.
Anyways, so, I think from that aspect, there's probably some players that weren't playing as well. And then there's probably other players that shine because they're fully focused. They had no distractions.
Yeah, well, don't say that.
I'm not going to say it. Well, I just said
distractions. You'll be canceled like Mike Milbury. Man, we can go through some of that stuff too. There's been a lot of controversial shit like that.
I don't know if we have time.
I don't know. We would have a lot more time if you and my father-in-law didn't have to sit and talk about farming mishaps and getting parts for about an hour and 45 fucking minutes.
Oh, Jesus. It was only 2 hours. But that being said,
I gave you 15-minute window and you just pissed it all away.
Yes, I expected the bubble to go well. It's a little unfortunate it had to be in Edmonton, but
can we just get over this? I couldn't believe they still had to shit on the Edmonton city.
I stand corrected a little bit, though. I'm glad that the finals were in Edmonton and not in Toronto.
Why?
Because it's Toronto.
Yeah.
That's just one.
That's true.
Although seeing the Cup won in Toronto would be kind of funny.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of hurtful.
Like it's going to happen in Edmonton.
Well, yeah, because like when Jordan motherfucking Eberle, who I'm repping right now, scored Game 5 overtime winner, it was just like the tweets were the best. It's like just like we always knew we'd see. Jordan Eberle scoring clutch overtime goals in Edmonton wearing orange and blue. Oh, sorry, but he's wearing it for the New York fucking Islanders, the most boring franchise in the world. Oh, man. Like that's what's funny about this playoffs, too. There's been a lot of times where I have the game on and I just can't get into it. And it's not because, I don't know. I can't get into them just because my life's so busy. Yeah, but maybe like actually actively sitting there watching a hockey game, I don't notice. No, like that whole series, Tampa Bay and the Islanders, it was like I checked the score and if there was like 10 minutes left in the third, I'm like, okay, now I can go and watch because something can happen.
Right.
I tried to watch from the beginning, and same thing when they were playing the Flyers. Mm-hmm. God damn it. I couldn't. It's unwatchable, and it sucks.
But that's the style of hockey.
Well, that's what Dallas plays too.
But even if the arena was full of fans,
yeah, I don't think it would have made a difference. Much better, right? So, yeah, that's why I'm pulling hard for Tampa.
I'm not. Fuck that.
What? You're still bitter?
No.
Do you want to give? Do you want to give shout out to the best tweet ever? I seen you were the one that retweeted on Twitter about this Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah, how this is their first legitimate Stanley Cup run.
The funny thing is when I seen that, the immediate thing I think of, I was like, oh, Flames fans, let it fucking go. And then I totally forget about the crease goal over Dallas. I think that's a little more well-known and famous. So this is actually, pretty interesting final.
It is kind of funny,
Definitely didn't think Dallas had it in. I couldn't believe they got past Colorado.
If Hudobin doesn't play well, they're not where they are.
Can we just say that Hudobin is a fucking baller?
Yeah, he's a gem.
That video after they eliminated the Golden Knights.
We're not going home.
We're not going home. That is.
Did you see the picture going around on Twitter?
No.
Of him, he's got no shirt on. He's got chicken wings in front of him and a big mug of beer, and he's just goon like. He's on the Russian gas or something. I'm like, that's probably exactly what he did after he got undressed.
Oh, yeah. What a beauty.
But anyways, yeah. So if it's not for that, there's a few games where even against the Flames, he doesn't make a couple stellar saves. They were down 3-1 in the series versus tying the series, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I give credit to him.
So you're cheering for Dallas.
Yeah. Because, like novice hockey, if Dallas wins the Cup, if Calgary would have beat Dallas, Flames would have winning the Cup. Right? It's simple as that, right?
Yeah, let's say that. That's the thing. I always did have that kind of feeling where it's like if your team gets eliminated and that team wins the Cup, at least you can say we lost to the champs, right? So fair enough. But yeah, you guys were winning 3-0 in Game 7.
Oh, in Game 7, yeah.
And you lost. What? How many unanswered goals?
7.
How many great coaching decisions were made during that game?
7 by Dallas.
All right, yeah. That news to follow later about Jeff Ward. I'm excited to talk to you about that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get there. But so Stanley Cup Final. Let's try and be our most professional, right?
And most unbiased, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I don't really have a skin in the game. Like, ever since the Oilers were out, it didn't matter. Right. And actually, once Calgary was eliminated, then it just didn't matter. Yeah. When Vancouver was still in it, it mattered to me.
Oh.
I got on the bandwagon.
I was cheering for the Islanders already then. So.
Yeah, that's right. You're an Isles guy. And I have to admit, like, I was watching that series, and I was cheering for them, even though I hate how they fucking play. But their coach is a beauty, and Ebbs and Barzal and Bavilli are pretty much the Edmonton Oilers' second line that we just gifted them, right?
Pretty much.
Like, literally.
I know.
So I got a little excited watching them play when they would win. All right, so let's try and be our most professional now.
Okay.
I did not have a skin in this series kind of going in. I have I have issues with Dallas because of the early 2000s, because it was Edmonton and Dallas, Edmonton and Dallas. And they had $40 million more on the payroll than us, and we always gave them a run for their money, but refs and Mike fucking Modano. And he wasn't there.
Yeah, he was.
Not early on. Oh, that was in the late 90s, and Andy Moog was a goalie. And then Belfour was there. But fuck Belfour. What a cunt. First one of season 3.
Did you ever see the video of him drunk in the hallway at the hotel? It would have been last year.
I remember talking about it, but it doesn't surprise me. I knew that he got arrested for bribing cops one time. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
So anyways, we're being real professional.
Here we go again. So anyway, I have an issue with Dallas. And for Tampa, I think they're a good story. And I cheer for the good story. So if you ask me who I'm cheering for, it's hardcore. I'm cheering for Tampa. The reason it's a good story is like best team of the regular season gets swept in the first round. How do you come back? And then they come into this playoff series, and what do they have to do? First series, you're going up against the same team. Yeah. Beat those demons. They're doing this without Steven Stamkos, who's been hurt the whole time. You know, you feel for a guy like that who's a great player, has had such a great career, and so many injuries lately that you don't know if he's ever going to get another chance. We don't even know if he's going to play. Yeah. And Patty Maroon's on the team. Got to love him. Yeah. 2 cups in a row. A lot of good guys on that group. The acquisitions come in, and Victor Hedman has been lights out. Has a chance to tie the fucking record. Yeah, Braden Point as well. So that's where my heart is. But, like, looking at the way this series could go, and already we know that game 1's in the books, I'd have to say that Dallas has something special going on with him, and I don't know how they did it. Because on paper, this is a wash for Tampa Bay.
But it's almost like that every year. Look at St. Louis last year. They're up there in the regular season, but no one had them pegged as to win the cup. Yeah. And you look at them on paper, they're not outstanding.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that.
Compare them to Dallas. I think they probably have this, equal chance.
They're similar that way, but there's still way more. There was way bigger names on St. Louis. Like Dallas, look at how much.
No, I understand. But what I'm getting at is that at the end of the day, when the playoffs started last year, no one pegged St. Louis to win the cup.
True.
In my opinion.
Well, especially, in their last place in January.
Right. Exactly. So, but when you say it's a good story for Tampa, I think you got to give coaching staff and management staff some credit too, right?
In Dallas, it's a very special thing too.
That's in that too, right? From a coaching staff.
All you hear about Rick Bowness is that this guy he's a hockey lifer. Yeah. It's everything about him, and he's well respected, and everyone's really excited for him. Yeah. And I think that Elliot Friedman talked about him, like he's the kind of guy that he's just a good man, and everybody is cheering for him. And they believe that, like, that's his coaching style.
Right.
Because he goes in there and he goes,
And what better way to showcase your players than in a bubble where you're with your team 24/7?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that might have been part of the early round exits for some of the teams, is because they couldn't handle. There was not enough mental capability to handle the on-ice physical capabilities, because they were stuck with, maybe people they don't actually see eye to eye with 24/7, right? Isn't it Cooper and
go on.
What's Bowers?
One of my cats just took a shit. Yeah, can't you tell?
Rick Bowers.
Bonus.
Wasn't he on Cooper's coaching staff?
I'm not sure.
Because I thought I read something about this is the first time in history that a now head coach is coaching against the former head coach he was working under.
I don't know.
I
didn't hear nothing about that.
I thought that's what I had read. But anyways, if that is true, that is another kind of cool story from the Stars' perspective, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they have fucking Corey Perry. And
you can't cheer for him.
A thorn in my side. I'd love to see Pavelski win a cup.
Yeah.
Ben win a cup, Seguin, those guys.
Seguin's already got a cup.
I know, but.
That's why I was like, you don't get another one. You got in your first fucking year when you didn't even matter.
Still. Corey Perry got one too many.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Nobody likes Corey Perry.
That's
That's the
only player in all of this series that anyone hates.
I'm sure a lot of people hate Kucherov.
Not for the same reason.
Well, you see the way he was hacking Pietrangelo there, that one.
I know, but
give it up, bud. But I kind of like the fire, I guess. But it's not Corey Perry, right?
He's not a rat.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so yeah, I still am rooting for Dallas. I also like the idea of keeping the cup in the West.
That doesn't bother me.
But yeah, I think I can guarantee you it's not going to be a sweep or a 4-1 type series.
You think this might go the distance?
I'm thinking 6 games.
Huh? You're on the clock, Tampa.
And excuse me, I guess the one downside is you really don't have home ice advantage. You have the rules of home ice advantage, but you don't have home ice advantage.
Home ice advantage is not called home ice advantage because of the things you can do during games.
Well, yes, it is. Like
not necessarily. I feel like the motion is way better. It works
awesome for matchups because you get last change.
Do coaches really worry about matchups the way they 100%. Used to?
If you watch the play, a lot of players know that because they have the last change, they're looking at the bench to see, hey, who's coming off for the other team because we're not the matchup for that line.
Yeah.
Like that happens quite often. But what I'm getting at is that Tampa could play on their ice, and I guarantee you, well, actually, you know what, this year might not be so bad because Dallas ice probably is not much different because they're both not hockey markets. But anyways, let's use how would I put it? Let's use Edmonton versus, say, Tampa.
Okay.
Well, your home ice advantage games could be a huge deal because of the ice, even just the ice quality.
Okay.
It's no different than when our teams go to California in the middle of January and they get there and the puck bounces more than it slides around the ice.
Fair enough, yeah.
Anaheim, San Jose, and LA are used to that. They play to that.
So with that being known that everyone's like kind of playing under the same conditions, you could say that like this COVID Cup is pretty much like the closest we'll ever get to like completely level playing field. So and maybe that's why teams like this, like the reason these two teams are there is because they're just, there's no circumstance other than the giant circumstance.
I guess, and even so, Tampa played their conference finals in Edmonton, right? So they, by winning that, they're ready. Like I don't know. My thought is because of how well, in my opinion, this has went. Does the NHL consider playing all the Stanley Cup Finals in one arena?
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but it's interesting to think that it could be possible.
They do that for the Super Bowl and Grey Cup because it's one game. But it gives the league a chance to showcase every arena, even if it's over 31 years.
Yeah.
You just know that 1 year it's your turn, right?
Yeah.
Pick it like a lottery. And
I think that's interesting in some ways, but also, it's other teams are going to be like, well, it sucks because, like,
but it would be only
you
for
get
the
to
finals,
experience.
right?
Yeah, but still, that's still. Can you imagine though, like your team going to the Stanley Cup Finals and it's like, no, but it's actually the Cup Final is going to be in Florida this year, so you don't get to watch a chance to go there.
It's no different than people that fly from.
I guess,
Green
but
Bay
like that's a little extra, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to cost a lot. I understand where
people
it's
go to
an
Vegas
interesting
just
thought.
to watch the Oilers.
Yeah.
I understand it's for set. It could be up to 7 games, but.
But I'd love for the Stanley Cup Final to be played in Rogers Place with the Edmonton Oilers there, and I can be there.
That probably won't happen. I also don't think that it's actually going to happen where they do go to that. I just thought it was kind of an interesting thought because – did I just say I thought it was an interesting thought? I think I did. Anyways, because it's working so well.
Yeah.
But yeah. I still don't feel bad for the Oilers. Sorry, I thought I had some remorse and I don't.
Why? We've done nothing to you guys. Literally.
No. You're right.
You're just a horrible human being.
I am thankful that the Flames ended up getting Talbot though.
Congratulations. He's going to leave as a free agent.
Whatever. I think that was a really good.
Yes, you got the better goalie.
No, but I think that's a good opportunity for him to maybe I don't know what's the word.
Reestablish
himself, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Mind you, Mike Smith played good for the Flames in the playoffs last year, and yeah.
Yeah, pretty much that's the only thing that wants to play well in the playoffs for you guys.
Yeah, you're right.
So just to the Stanley Cup Final, once again. Like I'm saying, the funny thing is, like, Tampa Bay is far and away the better team on paper.
Yeah.
Okay, like, look at the forward group. Top 6 doesn't have Stamkos, but you have Kucherov, exactly. Palat, Johnson, Gord, Killorn, or I guess Gord's playing the bottom 9.
Yeah.
Points, right? And then, like, Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, Alexander Radulov, big names. But after that, it's like Pavelski. Okay, he's a little past his prime. Perry's not up there. Who is it? Rupe Hintz and fucking Joel Kiviranta? Like, I didn't even know who the fuck Kiviranta was. And I know everything about hockey. And when I'm watching the game against Colorado, like, I didn't even realize this guy had 2 goals and he scores the OT winner on. They're like, Kiviranta! Hat trick! I'm like, what? Who? Yeah, his first game of these playoffs. And yeah, scores that fucking hat trick.
Don't you find that happens?
It does.
Not that all of a sudden
it's Ruslan Fedotenko. It's Maxime Talbot, right? Patrick Maroon. Yeah.
You know, it's not.
But like that's way more extreme what Kiviranta did.
Oh yeah.
One game, Game 7, hat trick.
Didn't he have 4 goals?
Well, he had a hat trick that night.
Oh right.
But he has scored since, and
I thought he had scored a 4-goal game.
No. Thomas Hertl did that once. Leon Draisaitl did this year.
No, I thought it was in the playoffs. Okay.
Anyways.
But yeah.
So just like that's what's interesting. But like Dallas has a very like the thing I remember when the Oilers played them not long before the shutdown. I don't think we won. But I remember it was like you would think the top line has Sagan and Ben and Radulov, but it's like no, actually the top line is Jason Dickinson with and I was like, why is that their top line? Like they just play the most minutes and it works. So they kind of have that balance where and that's what I think is helping them grind down. And on the blue line,
that's where Tampa wins big time.
Do you think so?
In my opinion.
Do you think so?
Well, they have.
I was actually going to say this is where I give Dallas Heiskanen and Klingberg, Lindell, and Alexiak is a solid top 4 group.
Yeah, but I guess you have to weigh the options between the offense your defense create versus the defense that they're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
But from a standpoint of winning hockey games, usually you need your defense to create scoring chances, and Tampa has been proving that works. Fucking
but it's one guy. It's Victor Hedman.
So that's all it takes.
Yeah. And
I do see
they're employing Zach Bogosian and Luke Schenn on that blue line, and somehow they look like Zach Bogosian and Luke Schenn when Zach Bogosian and Luke Schenn were supposed to be Victor Hedman and John Klingberg,
when they're relevant.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like, other than that, like, sort of Ryan McDonough, but after that, Shattenkirk is just, like, a power play guy. And who else they got? Like, Chernak?
Yeah.
And Sergachev. There's the other guy. Never mind. Tampa Bay wins that, too. Okay? So Tampa Bay has the forward group, the defensive group.
Is Sekera playing?
Sekera?
Or Sekera. Is he playing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to burn.
Dude, Sekera is the one that set up Kiviranta in Game 7. He was
tonight. Did he play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been in their top 6 all year. Yeah. And it does not burn. It does not burn, and here's the reason.
Okay.
The Edmonton Oilers, I don't think they wanted to buy out Sekera. They had to.
Oh, for sure.
And if we don't buy out Sekera, we don't get Ethan Bear this year. Ethan Bear doesn't get a chance, right? Sucks because we're paying him $2.5 million this year, $2.5 next year.
It's okay. The Flames are paying Troy Brouwer for the next 2 years.
Yeah, and I told you guys that was going to happen. So, like, you know.
I didn't disagree. So.
All right, fair enough. But no, and that's why I said I'm cheering for Reggie.
That is kind of an interesting thing, though. How many ex-Oilers are actually playing in this Cup Final?
Andrew Cogliano, who here's a fun game. Well, I'll give you the Edmonton Oilers that is playing in these finals, and I'll tell you what we got for him. Andrew Cogliano, we got for a second-round pick. That second-round pick turned out to be Marco Waugh.
Oh.
Marco Waugh. Well, I think he was in the ECHL last year. Okay, cool. Next, we have Taylor Fedun. Kind of the seventh defenseman in Dallas. Walked away as a free agent. He could totally take Matt Benning's job right now, okay? Nothing against Benny, okay? Then we have Andre Sekera. Bought him out. Still paying the guy, okay? Let's look over on the other team. Patty Maroon.
But that was...
Fan favorite.
Right, yeah.
Fan favorite. This is Peter Chiarelli had nothing to do. Third round pick and J.D. Dudek.
J.D. Dudek.
I forget what the third round pick became. I think we traded it again. So, yeah, a whole shit ton of fucking nothing, okay? We could do that game a lot, and we're probably going to do that more because there's a lot of Oiler talk, a lot of things stewing in my fucking blood.
I think that's probably the most. Like, because I tried to see, and I don't see any other team that has.
No, it's because
that many ex-players.
Yeah, right? it's a proven fact that once you leave the Edmonton Oilers, however good you were or how bad you were, you'll find your game somewhere. You will. I'm sorry. Like, I can't think of anybody who has gotten worse after we traded them. I know a lot that have gotten worse once we acquired them. Andreas Athanasiou, we'll talk about him. One of my personal favorites, Ryan Spooner. If you do the trace the tree of Jordan Eberle, Ryan Spooner. Luckily, we were able to move him for Gagne and move him for Athanasiou. And yeah, that pretty much sums everything up.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to get that in.
Yeah, I know. I didn't mean to go that far, but
I honestly I don't think there's any excellent. Not that I can think of. Or no, yeah, Blake Como.
Oh yeah, but he barely was there. He's a journeyman, so he's one of those guys you can't really judge much on.
Yeah, but I would put Andrew Cogliano in the same position. He's a journeyman.
No, he's not. This is his third team.
Oh, I just meant for time played.
Journeyman to me means he's journeyed around quite a bit. And...
See, I'm a journeyman. Ticket. I have a ticket.
Yeah.
Time.
That's what that means?
Well, you need so many hours to become a journeyman. But anyways, and he didn't come straight from Edmonton. Well, neither did Patty Maroon.
Or Cogliano.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, that's right.
But anyways, you almost got to feel good for him. Not, there's no... Cogs
is a guy that...
He's fucking worked hard his whole career.
Yeah, and never misses games.
Except for his suspension.
Fucking ridiculous. Bullshit. Cocksucking motherfucker.
I don't know. It was suspension.
Yeah, I love Cogliano. He was always a hard worker. He realized that he wasn't going to be a top 6 player, so he reinvented himself. Yeah. And he was doing exactly he's exactly the kind of guy you want on your team when you're bringing in a group of new players. And Steve Tambellini goes, well, we just drafted Leon Draisaitl, so obviously we're going to just give him second line minutes, right?
Oh,
that was spectacular. No, this was still 10. I don't know, man. It's all fucking the decade of darkness. I like to
compare more and more Bennett to Cogliano. And it's same
very similar.
He had to
obviously a little more drastic for the draft position that Bennett was taking on, but like you said.
And now he's really playing the same style of hockey as Cogliano.
Yep.
And he was unreal.
Sam Bennett's a great hockey player.
Unreal in the playoffs.
Like, that's the thing. If you draft a guy 4th overall, of course you want him to become a superstar, right? Like the guy that went 3rd overall. What was his name? By the way, he's the guy that's going to win the Hart Trophy tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Or Monday. Whenever you listen to this. It'll be tomorrow.
He's not winning.
If he doesn't win, I'm going to fuck it. Okay. If Leon Draisaitl does not win the Hart Trophy, you guys check out my Twitter at Pirates Hockey, because I'm going to go on a fucking rampage.
You're going to go on a rampage like LeBron for not getting voted for MVP?
Oh, what happened there?
Out of 101 votes, only 16 voted for him.
Oh, fucking basketball players, you fucking pussies.
Anyways, so, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since I had my good basketball rants. Okay. What do you want to tackle next?
Draisaitl's not going to get hurt.
He deserves it. You know it. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Oh, that was easy. Should we talk about, some of the trades that have already happened?
Yeah, we might as well just do trades and free agency now.
All right. So, I guess Stanley Cup Final, we're all going to be watching it. But I'm more excited for the offseason.
You're cheering for Tampa, but do you think Tampa's going to win? I understand one game's happen, but anything can still happen, right?
Yeah, I think they're too good.
But
something about Dallas scares me.
See, and that's why I'm going with Dallas too. Tampa's too good. They got swept last year. I know it's a different year, but their team is relatively the same coaching staff. And Dallas is just kind of, they're in a groove that they have never found before. And
Jamie Benn has fucking fire in his eyes.
Yeah,
went even just the interview he did after the game 1 win here. He's got it he already knows they've got it locked up.
Yeah. So,
I'm hoping for Steven Stamkos' sake. Holy fuck, that's hard to say. Steven Stamkos' sake that Tampa can pull it off, but I'm sorry. I'm going to go Dallas in 6.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
All right, so congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning for winning in 5 games because they're going to go 4 straight the way I've been picking.
But they did touch the trophy, so that's a guaranteed loss.
No, it isn't. I hate that. I hate it when Dallas didn't do it.
I'll find a stat for you.
Oh, what? They actually have a stat about touching it, not touching it?
Complete Hockey News.
Interesting.
He does funny stats, and at the end of it, he said, conclusion, touch the Wales trophy. Actually, especially in recent history, do more than touch it. Take it home, cook a nice meal, turn the lights down real low, put on some Marvin Gaye, and let the night take you where it goes.
Well, that's what's funny about it.
Oh, and then he says, but you said not to touch the Camel Bowl, and Dallas didn't touch it.
Ah.
And
so the Western trophy is cursed.
Exactly.
The Eastern trophy is not.
Yeah.
So I remember that Crosby said, the year that they lost to Detroit, they didn't touch it.
So here it is. So in recent years, in the 10 times it was touched, the East won 6 times. And then the 10 times it wasn't touched, they won 3 times.
Fair enough. There you have it.
I don't know.
Now you know the rest of the story.
I'd have to find the West stats.
I wonder if anybody's going to get that reference.
Yeah.
Do you know that reference? Paul Harvey?
Yeah. Used to listen to him on the radio on the
podcast. Everybody did. It was great stories.
Okay, for the West, if you touch it, there was 3 wins and 3 losses. If you don't touch it, 8 wins, 6 losses.
So pretty much it's almost like it has no effect on the outcome of what's going to happen.
He said, in conclusion, probably don't touch it. It's not guaranteed win. But you're batting over 500 unless you're captained by number 19 and or have Brett Hull and played in the early 2000s.
So there you have it, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the weirdest part about the bubble.
Yes.
It's done. Because we're going to go through the most fucking insane offseason. There's so many factors. First of all, we're having all this in October. The draft and free agency is going on in October. We don't know what the next season is going to look like, but we know the cap is staying flat for the foreseeable future, and that has changed a shit ton. There's probably teams that had, for example, the Oilers acquiring Athanasiou. It's we'll have to qualify him at $3 million, but we're going to get another $4 million cap space worth the risk.
Yeah.
That threw a dagger in it. So there's going to be a lot of stuff like that. Every GM's going through it. There's a bunch of new general managers that got to make their stamp on this. And we don't know. The world could be over in 3 years because COVID could get super AIDS and take us all out, right?
And what makes this even crazier is that while free agency is happening and draft, players are getting loaned left and right to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to get to see these guys playing actual games. And that may actually affect their free agency because they'll be like, you know what? Instead of wasting money, a 1-year, $5 million contract, let's just play him who's going to be making league minimum at an entry level,
mm-hmm.
who may put up the same points.
Yeah. So, this is going to be the most bonkers season too, but I think it's going to be some of the best hockey. It's going to be the most unpredictable off season, and it's because of there's going to be a lot of hockey trades.
Oh yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of I won't be surprised if we see a lot of deals where other teams take on salary for someone to gain an asset. Yeah. There's going to be some crafty shit going on, and that's why I think it's going to be exciting. And first of all, already knowing what one new GM is doing, is making this Bill Guerin. Okay, the Nick Boustead acquisition. I was it's not bad. He's going to get that's a cap shedding deal for Pittsburgh.
Right.
For a player who's from Minnesota, gets to go in and, what did he give up? A conditional pick, pretty much nothing. Then he turns around and gives a defensive defenseman the Taylor Hall contract, same money, 7 years, $42 million, $6 million a year for Jonas fucking Brodie. Okay, now I'll tell you something. I don't watch Minnesota enough to tell you how good he is, but I know that Ryan Suter and Jared Spurgeon stirred the camel's drink. Is that the what? That's the straw that stirs the drink, and the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what. Oh, trademarking that. And so I'm like, okay, well that's fucking bonkers. And then he trades Eric Staal to Buffalo for Marcus Johansson, and now I'm like, what the fuck?
1 for 1. No conditions, nothing.
And
I don't think there's any salary retained from anyone.
But he took more money on to get worse. I don't get it.
And then he tells Koivu that they're not signing.
Yeah, which that sucks and that hurts, but I get it.
Dude, on a season like this, why would you get rid of your leader?
Fair enough, you're
right. I feel
right.
like you sit down and you negotiate, hey, we'll give you some bonuses.
What else is he going to do?
We're going to sign you at a league minimum deal or $1 million or whatever. Something really low ball them, but say, you're our leader, man.
But I think Billy Guerin wants to be the leader.
I think so.
Because look what he's doing. He is clearing house. And I love it. What I love about it.
Clearing house.
How do you know?
He's taking
He just started, man.
He took a card from this house of cards and put it on this one. And now put one from here.
But it's already started. It's already started, right? What did he do? He moved out Zucker. He moved out. Oh no, Granlund was moved out by Fenton. But they're realizing
but
hey,
in return, he's not moving out and just getting picks, right?
Yeah, he's getting bodies back.
He's not giving up or gaining cap space,
But I don't know if this is a good approach because he's it hasn't been good enough for a long time there. Fair enough. You want to shake things up, that's great, but you're literally the Rangers did it the right way. They did move out all of their old bodies, Zuccarello and Spooner. Shattenkirk. A lot of those guys. McDonough was he was the captain, but they moved them out. They got assets back. And they didn't have every player on that team scared that their job might be gone the next day, which is exactly what Bill Guerin said after he traded Zucker. He goes, no, we're not fucking giving up. We're still going to make the playoffs. But, fuck, how could you want to play for that guy? I get it. He's ballsy and he's entertaining, but I don't know what his game plan is here. So, like I said, right there, Eric Staal and Mikko Koivu being moved out that fast is weird. That's your two big leaders. And Staal was Eric Staal was building his forever home in Minnesota.
Oh, he still will.
Yeah, which is fine, but and he's probably going to retire after this year unless he has some kind of renaissance in Buffalo. And for Buffalo, I think that's a good deal because what do they need the most? Is the second line center and leadership.
Just because the GM Jack Eichel is the captain doesn't mean it's
and that's pretty good.
But I guess sign Koivu to a 1-year deal, and they probably move him before the season starts.
Mm-hmm. Well, something, but it just feels like it's such a cold shoulder. And he did say something really nice. And sometimes there comes a time and it sucks. It's the same thing with Henrik Lundqvist in New York.
Yeah, but I think.
It's unfortunately, you're just not the player that meets the price tag, and we need to go another way. We can't always do things. It's business. At the end of the day,
in New
it's
York,
still business.
They've had such a lengthy relationship with Lundqvist.
Yeah, same thing with Koivu. 15 years.
Not with Billy Guerin.
I guess, fair enough.
Right? I think in New York, the argument will be, well, it was a mutual. They parted mutually because they just both sides knew it was coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
As where with Koivu, he
probably thought, yeah, after all I've done for this franchise, like they owe it to me to give me like
something,
another year.
Yeah, make me an offer at least.
Yeah, and instead just say, hey, we're moving on.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, at this point in his career, I don't know if Mikko Koivu is gonna play in the NHL. I think it probably ends there.
I don't think so. Me too.
Like, go back home and finish out your career if you still want to play. But, like, yeah, pretty rough, cold shoulder. But I tell you what.
He's 38?
34.
I thought he was older than that.
No. Fact check.
I thought I read this morning he was 38. Maybe that was someone else. But, I mean.
He's the most famous Mikko in the world because I type Mikko and it chums up Koivu. 37. Oh, you're right. Oh, fuck. Just retire. Never mind. I don't feel bad.
I still feel bad for him because that's not how you.
Yeah, he should have been given the option maybe, but I think that Bill Guerin.
So now what happens?
He needs to put on his stamp.
A year and a half when they call and say, "Hey, we want to retire your jersey."
He'll take it. You get over things, right?
But at least if they would have traded him, like in this.
But I'm still not. I still kind of hate Chris Pronger a little bit. So I get it. Never mind. I understand. You probably still hate Martin-Gelo.
No, actually.
He didn't. I guess he didn't even score. So.
Yeah, he was just there.
Trying to think.
And he's actually part of.
I'm trying to think who's your equivalent to Pronger. Yager.
Yes,
no, it's not the same at all. It's not the same. You don't know real pain unless you're an Oilers fan.
And Jonas with the club now, so.
Yeah. And he's really held on to he's aged
same,
well.
Yeah, same with Conroy. Just a couple of studs.
Yeah, whatever. I don't like any of them.
But Billy Guerin's making waves, I guess, let's say. But really, what's his nuts in Toronto kind of started it.
Dubas?
Yeah.
How so?
Trading Kapanen.
Yeah, and
that is
made out like Banshee.
Well played by Pittsburgh on the whole. Here's
our guy.
Player. You develop him, we'll take him back.
Yeah, but you also had to give up another. Like I don't understand how Kapanen gets a first round.
That set the bar really high.
Yeah.
Like really.
Like high. Some markets, but like you said, it's the same thing. Bill Guerin, who did he learn from? Jimmy Rutherford.
Yes, exactly.
And what does Jimmy Rutherford do? He just says, "I want something, I get it."
And I guess in the case of Dubas, whatever,
douchebag,
he's flipping that first round.
I don't think so.
I think they need a defenseman, big time.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get to it in free agency.
And it's going to cost him a first. Because he traded Kapanen for a first. Guarantee you, anyone he approaches and says, "Hey, I want that guy," we're taking that first.
Well, I'm sure that's it, but I don't see I don't think that's where Toronto should be going for. I think they can clear enough space with like moving out guys so they've already moved out Kapanen. He was like a $3 million player. I think they need to take all the $3 million players, turn them into $1 million players who can do the same job, which they can do.
But they were like that 2 years ago.
Yeah, but they did not have the big guy.
2 years ago.
They did not have that big guy who might be wearing number 27. I guess he can't because it's retired by Daryl Sittler, but 72, I guess, the way that things happen. I think Pietrangelo can be there. I think they're going for him. And knowing that he's going – so that's a big name. But anyways, let's get back to the Kapanen deal. That's my thought. I think Toronto – I think that Pietrangelo is playing in Canada right.
Maybe.
Vancouver or Toronto.
I honestly think he's not too old, and he was established in St. Louis, and he's proved year after year that that's who he is. So I think there's a chance for him to play anywhere.
Yeah,
is what I mean. Right?
He can be effective anywhere,
I think he could probably sit down with any team. This is a terrible comparison, but Tavares. In the sense that he could sit down with any team and have a meeting with them, and I bet you 28 of the
anybody
teams
would
are there,
sign them. Yeah. And he's another one of those guys like Pietrangelo. He's got a skill set that it's going to last.
Yeah, exactly. He's not hard on
He's
himself,
just about 30?
I think he is 30.
Right, but like you give him a 7-year deal at $8 million, which is kind of where I think is going to be. Unfortunately, he probably would have been able to get Doughty money before COVID.
Right.
But he's not anymore. But is he, like in year 6 of that deal, he's still going to be decent enough that you wouldn't consider buying him out.
Right.
So that's where this is a good contract. Like if the Oilers could find a way to swing it, I don't think it's humanly possible and highly unlikely he would even come here. Same thing with like Calgary. Like you guys are going to have more cap space and have blue line spots to do, but it's just it's not a fit for me. It's Pietrangelo's going to Toronto or Vancouver. If I'm him, I go to Vancouver because looking at that team, you
100%.
Pietrangelo on that blue line, that team beats Vegas.
Oh, for sure.
I think that team beats, especially with what fucking Demko did. Speaking of free agents, holy fuck, man. This is going to be such a wild one. But
I don't know, but I can't predict where he's going to go. Like on a regular year, we probably have a good idea, right?
Yeah.
But this year,
we got 28 options.
Yeah, well, this year, literally anyone. Well, maybe not because people have to realize they've got to protect players next year.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, that's going to make things crazy.
All right, so let me bring up another name in the rumor mill because it's a good way to get topics going on. I got to take a piss. Max Domi is Max Domi is a player that I'm surprised it is being talked about, but apparently him and Bergevin have some kind of beef. There's something going on there between Domi and the Canadians.
Is it Ty or Max the issue?
What's that? Yeah, I think that it was hard for a lot of Habs fans to see Ty Domi in that jersey, but
probably.
I think what I heard is the word is that like Claude Julien, once he came in, was not a fan of Domi's game because he takes too many chances offensively, and he should because he put up 72 points when he did that, and then Claude came in and made it an issue and gave the guy a fucking heart attack.
Yeah. Right.
Like in the playoffs, he put Max Domi on his 4th line. Yeah. And it still scared him so much he had a fucking heart attack. So Max Domi is in a weird spot because he was supposed to cash in. Like he took his bridge deal and had a 72-point year, and then he didn't follow it up as many points. But I still think he's an effective player. We know that he needs to be in a market. Where can Max Domi go?
I don't know. I do think he gets moved. I really do.
Well, for like I know like,
and I think
he's been talked about in the Edmonton circles as like a perfect 3rd-line center for our team. Are we going to be able to make that happen? Highly unlikely. I don't see unless we're moving out of Caleb Jones.
Right.
And I am not moving Caleb.
And that's what it's going to be for Montreal to move him. It's not. I don't think it's going to be a draft pick. It's going to be
it's got to be another roster player.
Well, or on the fence prospect, someone that is.
But like, see how they traded Galchenyuk to get Domi.
Right.
I could see it being something very similar to that. Like for example, let's look at Minnesota. You get a guy like Luke Kunin, who's more of a two-way guy, already has coach's trust, could be there.
I do think that
just as an example,
Domi would play better in the West.
You think so? You think his style works better? Well, I don't know. It didn't work very well in Arizona, but then again, nothing works well in Arizona.
Yeah.
Another team or organization that is going to be,
I guess,
out of it.
Realistically, Winnipeg's kind of under the radar. But I could see him going there. But and who's to say it's a Canadian market too, right?
I just because we know he thrives there.
Yeah.
He needs that kind of fire,
right?
I
guess, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, he's a fun name.
And I've actually heard quite a bit of talk about Subban getting traded again.
How?
And I'm like,
I don't even know why the guy plays hockey anymore. He's got a fucking podcast, a YouTube show.
I heard about it, but
yeah. He's just showing off that he's a big, beautiful black man with a big, gorgeous, hot white wife. Not saying anything wrong with that.
No.
I'm just saying.
That's what it is.
Because, it's like they're so exhausting as a couple. I'm like, okay, we get it. You guys are going to, like, create a super breed of human beings. Like, you're going to have beautiful children that are talented beyond, like, comparison, but you don't need to rub it into us mere mortals over here, man.
But anyway, so if
PK, yeah, but he had such a bad season. I think that you're going to see a good PK Subban next year.
I would hope so. I really do hope so.
And I love Subban. Like, I'm one of those guys that I think he's like his character is good for our game.
Yeah, I have nothing against him.
And when he's one of the best players in the league, it's entertaining. I want the Montreal PK back.
So I guess it's kind of crazy to think because there's just as much talk about players moving that aren't free agents as there are possible signings in free agency this year. Mm-hmm. Like, I swear to God, every goalie is on the market.
Pretty much.
And they're all going to Edmonton and Calgary.
Yeah, well, we're going to be fighting over it, and since that's the way it goes. When Travis Hamonic was talked about going, it was Edmonton. Edmonton's going to get Hamonic. Calgary gets Hamonic. Edmonton brings Christopher Stieg to training camp. Signs in Calgary.
I think that was the best one, to be honest. Like,
well, and then Steger fucking talked about it on Chicklets, and he was just like, yeah, well, Edmonton was just like, yeah, we kind of think, bottom 6 guy. Calgary comes in, you're going to play top 6. Well, what the fuck would you do? So I'm like, I respect that. Go ahead.
Didn't he even play in the preseason games for Edmonton?
Yeah, and he was really good. He scored.
I do remember that. Holy man.
Actually, Tweets was the one that informed me. He goes, how the fuck did that happen? I thought he was good. He just signs in Calgary.
Yeah, I remember that day like it was yesterday. I'm like, what the hell? Another player, though, that's kind of being talked about possibly going to Edmonton is what's Arizona's goalie? I can't remember his name now.
Kuemper.
Oh, yeah, Kuemper. So chances are the Flames are going to sign him, or trade for him, sorry. That's usually how that works. And I don't agree with it at all. I really do think that the Flames have no issue with Talbot playing another year in Calgary. Whereas Edmonton could probably use Kuemper.
What?
I said, I don't think Calgary should trade for Kuemper, but they probably will because Edmonton wants him.
Yeah, and that seems to be how it happens.
I think Edmonton could use him.
Oh, I think that, well, what's being bandied about in Edmonton, mainly like Cult of Hockey brings up a good point. Like, Arizona is obviously cutting costs because they have to, right? So they are going to be looking for contracts that are high cap hit, low salary. Well, the Edmonton Oilers have one. Let's call him
Swan Dive.
No, infamous. Yeah, I think you know where I'm going. Chris Russell is only owed $1.5 million, but his cap hit's going to be $4 million.
Right.
So, like, the talk is the money works out right there between Russell and Kuemper, but it's like, what else?
So I guess to just shed some light though on the whole Arizona thing. Apparently, staff were waiting to get paid. They hadn't been paid.
I know.
So
Tyler Steenbergen, from Team Canada, scored the gold medal goal. He's plays in their minor league system, and because he had a nice entry-level contract, he was supposed to get a $65,000 signing bonus, and didn't get it. And then his agent had to check in, hey, when's this coming in? And then they said, it's being mailed to you by check. And 2 weeks later, it never came, and then it was actually done digitally. Like, it's a fucking mess.
In 2020, since when is a check mail? Like, fuck off.
Yeah, he's 19 years old. He doesn't even know what that is. He's like, you kidding me? Like, I was Venmo and shit when I was 5, man. Like, give me something here.
Fucking pay me on PayPal. Jesus Christ. But anyway, sorry. So that's where, high cap with low money is what.
Well, there's talk like Arizona might just fire sale. Like, obviously Taylor, and like the mess of John Chaika leaving.
Yes.
Taylor Hall's not signing there. No matter what. It's so funny. They tried to go for it. Just
for
beat Nashville.
The Oilers case, would you rather get Kuemper or Hall?
Kuemper.
If you can get Hall for Kemper's wage?
I don't think that it's our greatest need. Our greatest need is goaltending.
You don't think that you need anyone from the bottom two lines replaced with a better player?
What bottom two lines?
Yeah, exactly. The Oilers are so front-loaded, they don't have any talent on the bottom two lines to make it to the playoffs.
No, I don't think that's a concern.
I truly don't think goaltending was that much of an issue.
No, it is. Trust me, as a fan that bleeds these colors, like goaltending was in the playoffs. What happened? McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl all did their part. James Neal, Alex Chason were producing. We were getting chances. We scored enough goals to win that series. We couldn't keep it out of our fucking net.
But you look back, like I didn't actually watch all of the Chicago Oilers series.
Exactly.
But a lot of those goals were created off chances where your third and fourth line were on the ice, and they had a chance but couldn't produce a goal from that chance.
Yeah.
If those lines go out and score, say 12% of the goals.
The thing is, we got that. We have it coming, right?
Right. But if you can get Taylor Hall for 2 years at Kuemper's price, which I don't know what it is, but I know it's a lot less.
Well, Kuemper's $4.5 million, and I'll tell you right now, Taylor Hall is going to get at least $7 million.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, he will. Colorado has $22 million in cap space. Just book it right now. Taylor Hall is signing with the Colorado Avalanche. He's going to ride shotgun with Nathan McKinnon.
Think so?
Yep.
I don't.
You heard it here first, y'all. Because the next time we do a podcast is probably going to be after free agency.
Yep, probably.
Highly likely, right? So this is going to last you guys for a while. No, Edmonton needs Darcy Kuemper, and if you can make the Russell for Kuemper money work, I don't know what else they're going to be looking at. Obviously, they're going to want to recoup draft picks. Edmonton doesn't have draft picks. Mm-hmm. Does Jesse Puljujärvi come into this? Can you do Jesse Puljujärvi
maybe
and Chris Russell for Darcy Kuemper? Maybe. And
in a sense, like you say, that Arizona may be just getting rid of anything that is high.
Well, because Oliver Ekman-Larsson's name is out there, and he's been talked about within Edmonton, and I'm like, that scares me. Yeah.
Why?
Hey, go ahead. Well, I think Calgary makes more sense just because you guys do have Brodie and Hamonic might not come back. And it's like, if you think that Ekman-Larsson can be more effective, and obviously I don't think the price is going to be that high considering what they need. If you guys go up to him and say a first, a second, and a B-level prospect, does that get it done? I think that's enough.
I don't know if I want to give a first round. They did it for Hamonic, and everyone says, oh, that was too much. Hamonic was great for Calgary.
Yeah.
I always thought it was great. So it was worth it. So maybe the same thing happens again. If that were to happen, I would hope that they signed Brodie over Hamonic. Brodie was their best defenseman this year, I think, personally.
Yeah.
And
just needed to get body snatched.
Yeah, I guess so, apparently. That's all it needed. So, yeah, if you can bring in a guy like that and Hamonic signs and whatever, maybe in Edmonton. He wouldn't take lots of money, I don't think.
Isn't he an Ontario boy anyway? Or is he a Westerner?
I thought for sure that it was Edmonton, Calgary, because that was
close to home. Yeah, that's right. So, welcome to Vancouver. Have a salmon. You just know it, right?
But anyways,
you just know how it goes.
I honestly, I think every A-level trade or free agent is either going to Calgary or Edmonton.
Yeah.
Because for the first 2 weeks of the conference finals, it was Frederik Andersen was going to.
Yeah, I heard that one for a long time.
2 weeks before the conference finals.
And that one still has smoke. Like, there's another name that could be on the move. And for me, it's like, if Toronto's moving Andersen.
But it was to Edmonton.
Yeah, I know.
And then it was
ridiculous. Like, Toronto Maple Leaf fans. Oh my God.
But then like 2 days later, it's like, where is that Calgary might be interested in Andersen?
Yeah. I can see, because Calgary, but no, Calgary, you guys, like Brian Burke said, like, you guys had made an offer for Frederik Andersen.
A while ago.
But right before Toronto got him, right? Yeah, just because the picks were 30 and 38. Yes. And you guys are going like 26.
What I'm trying to get at here is that every team is going to kick the tires at these people.
Yeah.
If they're legit on the market.
Well, and also we only might hear these names with our teams because we are watching for articles about our teams, right?
Yeah,
we're not sitting there on PensFan.com looking for info.
It's TSN and Sportsnet that are putting these out.
Yeah.
Saying it's like they're creating a rivalry within a rivalry just by saying, oh, yeah, there's,
Man, but you're saying, like, the goalie carousel is so interesting because, Frederik Andersen's names come out there, but, like, probably the big goaltending controversies now are in Vegas and Pittsburgh.
And I think Vancouver, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing. You got to be careful if you're Vancouver because Demko had a really amazing showing, but it was under anything in COVID circumstance.
And it was,
but it's with the expansion draft coming. You cannot.
Exactly.
No matter what, Demko showed enough. No matter what Markstrom has shown that you don't lose that guy for nothing.
No.
If you're signing Markstrom, he can't have a no movement clause. Yeah. He's got to be your exposed goalie. Do you think that he's going to want to do that? And if he doesn't, they have to make a decision. Are we going to walk away?
Exactly.
But Markstrom also, he's dealing with the same thing. If Leonard apparently is only going to get, the reported deal is 5 times 5? Have you heard that?
I didn't hear.
I
didn't hear the.
Apparently there's a handshake agreement. At $5 million a year for the next 5 years, Leonard is signed on the dotted line. Like, they're ready to go. Yeah. It just hasn't been confirmed yet. But it pretty much has. So if that's what Leonard can get, can Markstrom get more than that on the open market? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Leonard's the best goalie on the market.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Fleury now.
Well, that's where we're going to get, okay? So if Leonard signs at 5 times 5, Vegas can't afford to have a backup for $7 million.
He already gave his 10 teams.
Because he has to.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm just saying. So that means that he's moving.
And, so there's speculation that if they can't move him, what do? You have to buy him out.
Well, not necessarily because they haven't signed that contract with Leonard.
Huh? Yeah, but
right?
They have. And Fleury can't go back there after what Alan fucking Walsh did. Like, he died.
I can't believe he hasn't fired him yet.
Okay. So where do you think Fleury ends up? I got a trade for you.
A trade?
This was brought up by Bruce McCurdy.
Yeah, you're right. It would be a trade. So,
what do you think of this? Edmonton trades James Neal.
I guarantee you Edmonton's on his no-trade list.
I think so, but considering this. Anyways, this is just brought up, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Edmonton trades James Neal for Marc-Andre Fleury. 1 for 1. James Neal goes back to Vegas, where he obviously loved. Yeah. He was loved in the room. He was one of the guys, okay? He's got 3 years left at 5.7. Fleury has 2 years left at $7 million. So the money's almost exactly the same, just over a different amount of time. Yeah. Edmonton gets a goalie. Obviously, like a Fleury Koskinen in tandem, it's expensive, but it'll do the trick. It's going to be more than...
It's the same amount as Price.
Huh? Yeah.
and you have 2 goalies.
That's great money. But I just thought that was an interesting trade. Like,
so I honestly thought he was going to end up like in, say, San Jose or LA is where I was thinking.
Fleury?
Yeah.
You think Vegas would do that? Trade him to like a rival like that?
When he puts 10 teams on the list.
There's no way you can't have Quick and Fleury there. In San Jose.
Last year, Quick was on the
trading block. They got Jones too. Jesus Christ, goaltending is out of this world.
And Jones was absolutely awful last year. Same with Quick.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many moving parts. And then in, like, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Murray and Jerry.
That really died really fast. Because it was like, there's huge discussion between Calgary and Pittsburgh.
You guys were in on Matt Murray? Yeah. Oilers were too.
And then also, there's no talk about it anymore. Now it's Kuemper. So, was the ask too
the
high?
Ask was. I know for a fact that the ask from Edmonton was 14th overall pick. And they
asked
for Murray.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh wants the 14th overall pick for Matt Murray, and Ken Holland's like, fuck you.
Which
it's weird, a goalie that
he's got 2 Stanley Cups.
2 Stanley Cups.
And he's not he's 26.
Yeah. But he also had an .898 save percentage last year.
I know.
Right?
And so did almost every other fucking goalie in the league.
Yeah, except for Anton Hudobin and Ben Bishop, apparently. The only goalies that could save more than, like, how many goalies were over 920?
Last year?
Yeah, not many.
Not many. Matt Murray is 26 years old.
Good job. Doesn't it ever still feel weird that you talk about hockey players? You're like, I'm older than that
Yeah,
guy.
fuck yeah.
Dude, I'm 7 years older than the greatest hockey player in the world. So, like, I have no excuse. I had 7 years on that guy.
Pietrangelo's 30, so.
Okay. Pietrangelo's my age.
Yeah.
I'm 30, guys.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Oh, yeah, we celebrated his 30th birthday
We did.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm younger now. It's good. Everything's great.
It was quite a shindig. Some people run out of fuel. Some people smashed a window. Oh, that was the same guy. Power went out.
Yeah. Someone else lit a deck
Drunk
on fire.
cousin lit a deck on fire. Great time. I had to spend my 30th birthday acting like a disappointed adult.
For the first time in his life.
Exactly. But enough about me.
So, yeah, there is, even just, like you said, from a goaltender's perspective, there is a shit ton of possibilities
and even
goalies moving, right?
Okay, let's just go through we could do, let's play a word association game.
You all right there?
Okay, I'm going to give you a team.
Okay.
You're going to tell me in one sentence the goaltending situation.
One sentence or one word?
One sentence.
Oh, we've been far.
Well, maybe, but I'll give you a sentence. Anaheim.
Their status quo.
Arizona.
They're fucked.
Boston.
I need more than a sentence for that one. No, I think they're okay. Because Tuukka Rask leaving the bubble is not going to affect the relationship there. Like, there was something serious happened.
Do you see Brandon Pruss comments?
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. It's too bad because I liked Brandon Pruss as a player. I thought he was a good guy, but he's obviously just a stunned cunt. A horrible human being.
Terrible. Fucking terrible.
He's king of the fuckboys in the NHL. Like, Bissonnette's the good fuckboy.
Yeah.
You know where you stand with Biz. With Prusty, he hangs out with Brendan Leipzig. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got Leipzig vibes.
I can't believe I just laughed at that.
Why?
Just
because it's true?
Yeah. Anyway, so no, I think they'll be good. They'll be good for next year. That their issue isn't there. Boston. Buffalo
need an upgrade.
They could use an upgrade for sure.
Because whoever that GM is,
Allmark isn't ready to take on a AB role versus an A1.
Because and also AB roles. Oh, sorry, that's not A1, A2. Shouldn't be.
Huh? I'm saying that he's not ready to be.
Yeah, I know, but I was.
45.
I knew where I'm going with it, but I'm not going.
Okay.
I only wanted to get to the Boston for this part of the game. I wasn't going to do all 31 teams.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but I just wanted to get into that part of the subject. I thought it was a clever way of getting to it. It's something that they teach you in journalism school.
Oh, yeah?
Or in broadcasting school, which I never went to. Journalism, not broadcasting.
I was waiting for their. No? Oh, you didn't want to do anymore? Okay.
I think we've kind of gone through goaltending.
Yeah.
But other free agents. Taylor Hall he's the marquee forward, right?
Yeah.
We've known that going into this, and I said, it's going to Colorado, confirmed. Would I love him to be like, I'm taking $2 million to play with Connor McDavid? Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen.
So last year before the trade deadline, there was some heavy talk about him going to Calgary.
Yeah. And I still think it could happen.
I was thinking that too. I don't want it to happen because he's going to be asking for a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he probably does actually help that team. I really do think Gaudreau's getting traded, and they'll replace with a guy like Hall.
Did you hear Treliving's comments?
Like recently?
Yeah, after the playoffs. Oh, he pretty much did everything he could. No, that might have been your new head coach.
Jeff Ward
said that. Pretty much. I think it was Jeff Ward. Never mind, it wasn't Treliving. But Ward had talked about how he doesn't understand the criticism that Johnny Gaudreau and Sean Monahan get. He goes, these are our best players.
Yeah.
And it made it sound like he's going to bat for those guys, and they're not trading. That was Jeff.
Yeah, so he really has no pull in if he gets traded.
I can't believe you guys hired that guy.
Fuck.
Do you want to get into it?
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I do think Gaudreau is the front runner for being traded over Sean Monahan. Sean Monahan just needs someone that is more physical on his line.
Sean Monahan's a really good second line center.
But I think he can stay on that top line if he had a guy like Taylor Hall to drive the play. Gaudreau drives the play in the sense of setting up, and moving the puck. But Taylor Hall takes that puck and he'll drive it into the corner.
They could be a good fit, I guess.
With Lindholm on that line, Monahan in the slot, I think the puck goes in a lot more than with Gaudreau trying to take that puck to the corner, right?
Yeah.
So, and with Gaudreau being so far from home, I know he says that Calgary's his second home and all this stuff. But if he had the chance to get traded to Philly or New Jersey, it'd be a hard pass, right? Or hard to pass up. So,
what do you guys get from New Jersey though for Gaudreau? If Kapanen gets a first, right?
Yeah. Well, that's just it, right?
Are you looking at Jesper Bratt and a first? But I don't think that New Jersey's in the business of giving up a first.
That's fine. I'm not saying
Philadelphia would make more sense.
Yeah,
Philly is probably got more of the currency.
Spare in a first, maybe.
Ooh, that's interesting because that guy's been on the market. Man, I didn't realize how bad of a year he had.
He had a terrible year.
Fucking, he has 60-point seasons and then down to like 14?
15, yeah.
Wow. We call that the whip dog.
Anyway, so yeah. And if he doesn't get traded, he doesn't get traded. But, that's where the issue is that's the issue with the Flames team. So I think that's what has to be resolved. And being that
I think
Taylor Hall is on the market,
mm-hmm.
He is kind of in that realm of player that they need.
I don't think Taylor Hall wants to play in the Battle of Alberta because Zach Kassian will kill him.
Nah.
But then again, him and Tkachuk would be good douchebag bros. Like they might fucking make the cake.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I know they make because my wife hates Hall. Like she's hated Taylor Hall since I started dating her. And like even when he was with the Oilers, she goes, "He's not good. He's kind of a jerk." And I'm like, "How do you know?" She's like, "You just tell." Right? And so she hates him, and that's about as much as I hate Tkachuk. So they'd be good douchebag bros.
Talking about Tkachuk, it was Brady Tkachuk's 21st on the weekend.
Oh, fuck.
So Matthew, he just had 3 pictures on his Instagram. And one was at noon, and they were sitting at a bar, and he had his shirt off. And then at 2, he was they're outside, and they're doing shots or something. And then at 4, he's standing on the bar, or something like that. I'm like, man, could you imagine turning 21 and having
that kind of money
and having that last name, and they're in St. Louis probably?
Oh,
like, it must be a riot.
You're getting serviced.
Yeah.
By straight male cops.
Anyways, I was just thinking, yeah, man, imagine us turning 21 with that kind of lifestyle.
Oh.
We'd be drinking non-alcoholic beer and Coca-Cola.
Yeah, times sure changed around here, but I tell you what, when I was 21,
yeah,
I didn't need any of those luxuries, and I found a way to get Instagram worthy. Yeah, I can make shit happen, man. You have no idea.
So I guess you're saying go to Colorado because the money makes sense there.
Yeah, Colorado, in my opinion, they could literally get Pietrangelo and Hall.
So that was my thought: is
make a super team.
I didn't realize Colorado had that much money, so maybe Pietrangelo ends up there.
Fuck, man. Can you imagine that blue line?
And they can pay him the $8 million a year.
Yeah. Can you imagine that blue line? Makar, Gerard, Johnson, and Pietrangelo. And then you still have Zadorov and Ian Cole. And Bowen Byron coming. Jesus Christ. Reggie.
So let's just say I don't know. I feel like Taylor Hall might end up back in the East.
No, he's going to go. He's going wherever he can win. He said that. Like, that matters more.
You're right. I guess
who has the money that can give him the money that he can want?
And who should be in the finals right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Like, it just, everything makes sense. Colorado signs Taylor Hall.
And Pietrangelo.
I think Pietrangelo is going to Toronto. I think they're going to make it happen. Him and Johnny Tavares, good buddies.
Yeah. But
hey, you guys want to hear a fun?
They said that about Kevin Hayes. He was going to Calgary because they're good buddies with him and Johnny Gaudreau. They played in college together. But
we knew that Hayes was.
I know, but I'm just
the best one. I had a really good joke. Oh, yeah. Fun fact, Toronto fans. This one's for you. Since John Tavares signed for the Toronto Maple Leafs, how many series wins did the Toronto Maple Leafs have?
The same amount as they did before.
Yeah. How many do the Islanders have?
How many series wins?
Yeah.
I don't know because it's too many.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Because they won
one series, didn't they, in Trot's first year?
Who did?
The Islanders.
Oh, the Islanders, yeah.
Didn't they beat Florida? No, they
beat Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then this year they won 2 series.
Yeah, so they won 3 series without John Tavares. They only won 1 series the entire time John Tavares was there. Mm-hmm. John Tavares now plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Did you know that? Signed a pretty big ticket. Fucking them.
Never heard about that.
Yeah.
So actually, while we're talking about Toronto, why do we talk about Toronto so much? Austin Matthews, we always joked about him going to Arizona. That may not happen now if Arizona is as broke as it sounds. But I don't think he stays in Toronto.
No. After that 5-year term is up, he's fucking getting out of there. And I don't blame him. Like, you know what? I don't hate the guy. I don't like the guy.
I have nothing against Matthews.
But I have nothing, he just rubs me the wrong way. He's that kind of guy that, like,
flash a security guard in the parking lot.
Yeah. And then gets nominated for the fucking the Lady Bing. Like, you see the Lady Bing nominees were a guy who made a woman feel unsafe, a guy that got drunk and drove through Tim Hortons, and someone who probably deserved it. Nathan McKinnon. Yeah. A guy who gets really upset if you sandbag him when you're golfing. He was legit pissed. This is a fucking sandbagger.
I guess a big free agent we've kind of just leaped over is Ovechkin.
What? He's not a free agent.
Yeah?
No, he's not.
They're discussing his contract.
Yeah, he has 1 more year.
I'm sure it's this year that he's a free agent.
No, he's not.
Okay. Because
Trust me.
I just read yesterday.
We would talk about that. Yeah, no, he's going into the last year of his deal.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. Maybe I just misread the article.
Yeah.
But he wants like $13 million.
Why not?
Till he retires, essentially.
Why not?
Apparently, that's why discussions have stopped, is because Washington said no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck. I hate when, like...
Could you imagine asking for $13 million a year at 35?
Can you imagine not asking for $13 million a year when you always score 50 goals?
I know, but at the same time, he has to realize that he didn't win that cup by himself.
I don't know where this story's coming from.
Well, it's because I was understanding it as him being a free agent this year.
Okay, yeah, that is not true. There is probably a bigger name that we're not thinking of. No, you don't know?
No.
Oh, me neither.
Tujar Kara? No, I don't know.
No, well, he's under contract.
I know, but there's talk about it moving him.
Yeah, thank fucking God. They need to.
Or Sekera. Or Sekera.
No, I want Kara to Toronto. Toronto needs a guy like Kara. He would actually fill a role there. They need some toughness. He can be a 4th-line center just fine. He's a good penalty killer. We train for Pietrangelo. Straight up, money works. Take him on. You heard it here first.
See, Trin is so fed up with the Oilers that he's just...
I don't want to... Well, honestly, because talking about them just upsets me so much. Like, I'm sure you're not happy Jeff Ward got a new deal.
Whatever. I actually read just a tweet on Twitter, and they made a pretty good point that since Triveling's been there, he's been through 4 coaches, and it's the same story every year. So maybe it's
how many of your coaches are yelling N-bombs?
Just one.
Oh. You said it's the same story every year. Bob Hartley.
The same story with the team.
Mm-hmm.
Early round exits, or they just don't.
Yeah, you got to say that he's probably feeling the heat, hey?
Oh, I would say so.
He's had a long tenure and moderate success. Like you said,
but I mean,
he takes a few swings. Some work, some don't. Yeah, I don't think he's done a bad job.
Some of his drafting has been good. His free agency signing, not so much.
His restricted free agency signing.
But his trading is pretty good.
Yeah.
And his restricted free agency signing has been far none.
Give him credit. You trade the best player in the deal, like Dougie Hamilton, and somehow you turn Lindholm into something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because remember, we talked about that in season 1 of our podcast, back when we didn't have this great quality of content, video content. Because I do go back and listen every now and then just to get a chuckle out of some of the things we say, and I was just shitting all over that deal.
Yeah, it didn't work out well for you.
No, Elias Lindholm can play hockey.
But anyway, so they're saying it obviously needs to be fixed on the ice with the team, with the players. It's not a coaching change that's going to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So by signing Jeff Ford, or essentially taking the interim off his title, is probably the right thing to do.
Yeah, well, and also pandemic.
Yeah.
A lot of things going
honestly,
on.
I still wish they had Bob Hartley.
Yeah, but he probably would have been canceled by now.
Maybe, but
he just looks like a guy.
But he made Gaudreau and Monahan play their best hockey. I think that's when they played their best hockey, when he was a coach. Gaudreau used to block shots with Hartley. Used to. Yeah. And that's what you need, is your best players to be playing on all areas of the ice. Now Gaudreau, if he gets the puck at their blue line, by the opponent's blue line, he doesn't have the puck in.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and he's not dumping it in.
He's just being a pansy.
Yeah. Which, I get it. He's 5 foot fucking nothing.
You know what Johnny Gaudreau is? He's Phil Kessel. Think about it.
No.
He can't lead. He can't listen. No,
Phil Kessel can get hit, though.
I know. I'm not saying it that way. What I'm saying is,
when Phil Kessel has the puck, he'll take the hit to move the puck. In the defensive zone, when they're breaking out, if Phil Kessel gets a pass along the boards, he will protect the puck with his body, break out. Gaudreau doesn't even play his wing on a breakout. It's literally like they're trying to break out shorthanded because he can't get hit from the D-man pitching.
Okay, cool. That's not the point I'm making.
So they're not the same player.
No, they're not. What I'm saying is, Phil Kessel could not be the guy that takes the team to the promised land. He's a great support player on a championship team. I'm saying you trade Gaudreau. Let's say he goes to Colorado.
Yeah.
Say you trade him to Colorado. Can he be a piece that, the third best player on that team and win a Stanley Cup? Yes. Can he be the best player on the team and win a Stanley Cup? No. That's why I'm comparing.
And I'm not saying that he's going to get traded and his career is going to go down the drain.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't think it's going to work with the team that Calgary has. So it's either you trade 6 players to make things work for Gaudreau, or you just trade Gaudreau and try to make it work with the rest of the team you have. At the end of the day, hockey's still business. And
that's true.
Obviously, business isn't working.
Business ain't good.
Yeah. So, but there is a handful of players that are under contract that are talking about being moved too. But I don't think they get moved till after, I don't know, I want to say November 1st.
Why?
Because I think a lot of GMs are waiting for free agency because it's going to be so crazy.
Yeah. Because it could be one way or another, man. I literally have no idea.
I guess
do you go into free agency being like, okay, we gotta make sure we know how much money we can spend, or do we spend and then say, okay, now we have to trade this out?
We have this left for free agency. Yeah, I guess.
Because this is the first time we've had a flat cap.
Yeah.
In 7 years.
Certain teams that's not going to affect too much, but other teams it will for sure. Great
statement.
Yep. Get my best knowledge from.
Oh God, that's the best.
actually was watching just a quick baseball highlight, and I caught that.
Okay, thank you guys so much for listening.
Oh,
This was the Chuckin Nucks Podcast. Brad mentioned baseball, which is a complete breach of our contract. This fucking backwards banana split sport. Fuck it.
It's funny. Let me tell the story.
All right.
And then the announcer says, just after a batter swings and misses at the ball, and he says, you hit the ball a lot better when you hit the ball. And the other guy, it was just a long pause. And I sort of got his mic was off, and he was probably killed over laughing.
Okay, I'll give you that one. That's pretty good. I like stories like that.
Wow.
I'll never forget. I think it was when John Garrett actually used to do the color commentating for the Edmonton Oilers in the 90s or early 2000s, because it was like Bill Ranford had come back and was the Oilers backup that year. And I remember he made the save, and John Garrett literally says, and if Bill Ranford was not there, that puck would have gone in. My mom just looks at me and goes, oh, really? Oh, really? Really, John? Is that what would have happened? So that's how it works. The goalie has to be there to stop the puck. And it's like, yeah, I get what he's trying to say, but it's like, no.
Yeah.
Some of those are the best.
You're thinking on the fly, and sometimes you lose your thought.
Oh, yeah, man. I could never do that job.
Me either.
Like, I always, that was a dream of mine, was to have that job, and now I'm happy that dream died. Because I would have so many moments like that, and it's way more fun to sit and make fun of people.
And you cannot swear either. So.
I could totally, I'm pretty good stuff, honestly. I could not call Edmonton Oiler games.
Sometimes you don't even realize it, and your wife has to give you shit because you're swearing around my kids.
No, like, I'm pretty aware of it now.
Oh, sorry, did I say that?
Did I swear?
But anyways.
I'm like RA on Sportsnet.
I think that's my thing that I say. But anyways,
that's your...
You say, here's the thing, but
you
haven't said it today, I don't think.
Ooh, maybe it was because,
Or maybe I just zone it out now.
Who knows? Maybe. But anyways, here's the thing.
So, yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't think of any other big names that are under contract or that are being talked about.
Yeah.
Well, Toronto's now re-signing. The fuck? Who's playing defense?
Kyle Clifford?
No, they're not re-signing.
Well, I knew they weren't re-signing him, which makes no sense.
Barry.
Oh, they said they weren't?
Well, okay. I mean, obviously it wasn't.
Because they're going after Pietrangelo.
Yeah.
That was Barry.
So in when I was reading, it was Barry going to Edmonton.
Of course.
And Calgary was not involved at all. So chances are Calgary's probably going to sign him.
I don't know. I don't know if I want Barry. I want a guy who can play defense. I think Ethan Bear and Evan Bouchard are going to be Edmonton's blue line prospect depth is unreal. I don't want to be blocking anybody. I'm fine going into the season with the D we had last year, hoping that Bear takes another step, that Jones takes another step. I think that Russell will get moved out because we need the flexibility there. Bringing a better goaltender. He's
really flexible. He dives all over.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it. Carolina Cowboy. I love Chris Russell.
Oh, I loved him when he played in Calgary.
I modeled my game after him for the Fleury Yellow Jackets.
Do you remember when I said that you're going to love Russell on your team? And you did. But now he's.
But it's just he's not. Yeah,
he's overstated.
It's not even that. He shouldn't have got that much on the contract. But Peter Chiarelli, Peter Chiarelli, and
talking about GMs. Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
Go ahead.
I got to bring it up. Did you hear that Pierre McGuire was in the running for GM with
Arizona? He also interviewed for the Minnesota job before Chuck Fletcher got it.
I cannot believe that that's actually still a thing.
But the reason that it's interesting, we can say what we want about Pierre. But he's like they said, he's got baggage and it's the only thing that's up against him, but you got to admit something. He knows hockey.
Oh, for sure.
He watches more than anybody. Don't you think he knows a thing or two? And it's not like he's just like a broadcaster who wants a job in the NHL. He's worked as a coach and as a GM before.
I know, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, because that if you're a team that is interviewing him, there's players in your group that think he's Sandusky.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to make a joke. I'm saying that because he gives off creepy vibes, but like everybody says.
I think the issue with McGuire is because of his position that he's had for so long. It probably make him a little bit too opinionated to work with a staff.
Somewhat.
You know what I mean? Like, so he becomes a GM for Arizona, and he's like, nope, we're going to work with what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone else around him is like, no, we can't. We got to move some players. No. I watched him, 41 times.
Yeah, back down in New Hampshire. He was, playing against the Rhode Island Buccaneers. And that his daddy came from there. And I don't know why he's got a Southern accent right now, because he's one of you.
Thanks, man.
Were you showing that you guys had the same hairstyle?
Oh, no, I was scratching my head.
I thought you were going to like that one a lot, or feel a lot more offended.
No, it does not bother me.
Sad.
Another cool thing, though, I did see about possible GMs. There's talk that Florida might hire the first ever female general manager.
No, they already hired Bill Zito.
I just read it literally before I came here. I know they hired Bill Zito, but so I don't know if I didn't read that article. I just read the headline. So I don't know if maybe their
intentions Brad, you can't just read headlines. There's some people that think that Trump said things.
Let me finish my discussion. I think it'd be really cool if she was within the organization with a future of being a GM.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fine, and I think that it'll be great once a woman does, break through the barrier. Like I think Chicklets had Manon Rayon.
What I'm trying to get at is that's a job within a male sport that doesn't have to be held by a male.
That's true. If you're an intelligent hockey mind, you can have that job, and I think it'd be great.
You have to be good at negotiating. You need number skills and stuff like that. And it obviously didn't work in Arizona, where if it works on the computer, it works on the ice.
Yeah.
But I really do think that would be cool to see.
I think it'd be interesting.
So maybe that article was actually written before they signed Zito, but I think it's cool.
But like, one of the problems that's going to come with that, and this is not me trying to tread water here in any which way, but no matter when that happens, I think it will happen. And like I said, and I hope it happens for the right reasons. But going back to Manon Rayon, when she played in that game, they said everyone just looked at it like a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Right?
But that was...
And she talked about how, like, she had the right attitude for it. Like, it's a great interview to go and listen to her.
Yeah, I've meant to listen to it.
Oh, it's so good. Like, she's very French accent,
yes.
Very French accent. And she's, I don't know what, is that French accent?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty French accent.
Yeah, they came from Lebanon.
Accents aren't my game. But, no matter what, there's going to be a
level of publicity or a thought that it's for publicity.
Yeah, but the thing that sucks about it is you wouldn't be able to make any joke about it. The first GM that calls to make a trade and makes some kind of comment, even though they don't mean it in a hurtful way, it's going to get legs. That's what the problem about this.
Realistically, from a professional standpoint, those jokes should never be made.
No, they shouldn't. Right? And I always liked like a bossy woman. Don't read too much into my marriage on that.
No.
But like, have you ever watched Entourage? You ever watch Entourage? Okay, well, Vincent fires his agent, played by Jeremy Piven, Ari Gold, and hires this sexy woman to be his agent. And you think that, like, of course, it's a misogynistic type show, right? So you look at it. So they're making these comments, but she is game for it. And she is a fucking cold-hearted bitch, and she wins battles. She wins negotiations that way, and I find that very entertaining. So, yeah, I'd love to see that.
Not even from an entertainment standpoint. Like, I really do think that there's probably women out there that are just as equally prepared to handle that job. And just, anyways, seeing that article.
I'd be excited to see it. And and right now you're seeing a big thing happen, like with women in hockey, especially like in the main offices.
Right.
Because women are fighting the same kind of battle that people that are like have like from the diversity program, like people of different races are still having that kind of issue too, because it said hockey is generally white male dominated. Would you say organization? Sport, sure, great. That's a good word
That's
for
a
it.
really good word for hockey. Yeah.
So yeah, it's the same kind of battle, and it's just like because it's so foreign for a woman to want to be in that man's world, I guess, in a weird way. Right. It gets that way because like
that's where like
women can have their own franchises and do that, but there's a lot of men that coach women's hockey. So right. You're right. So that's where you got to look at it that way.
And that's where you're seeing the female referees and stuff like that.
I didn't want to get into a controversial topic.
I'm not trying to be controversial.
I'm not either, but I just listen to some of the things I'm saying. I'm like, oh, there we go. Cancel number 1, cancel number 2. It's like, let me finish. I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just understand it and like give caution to why it's still going to be. There's still going to be pitfalls from this, and I wish that we didn't have to go through that. But it's like it's the same thing where I don't want it overcorrected so much.
No, that's right.
Right?
Exactly.
Like with Mike Milbury, who is an idiot, should not have been fired for his comments.
I honestly disagree with you for the only sake that he knew exactly what he was saying, and he knew that the focus around saying stuff like that right now is under a microscope.
Yeah. But it's still not. It's too much.
I don't know. But anyways, that's not what
I find that to be a compliment.
That's not what I was trying to get at with this. There's no way to sexualize what I was talking about. It was just the fact that, and I guess it never really dawned on me that, you don't hear any of the office staff being women.
Yeah, there's, I know Arizona had an assistant coach that was a woman.
Assistant coach or?
Legitimate assistant coach. On the bench and everything.
Yeah,
should know her name. Like, isn't that sad that
exactly.
we don't know that name, right? Yeah. But like, I know Cami Granado was hired by Seattle.
Yeah, no, I know.
Be a scout. So there are women that are working
but
to actually run the offense, right?
Yeah, run the team.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting. But like I said, I just hope that it's a woman that really earned it.
Well,
and deserves it, and not getting it because of just because you're a woman.
No,
same reason I don't think anybody should be hired over anything other than the qualifications for the job.
Yeah, exactly. I think if it would have been for the sake of being a woman, I think it would have happened.
Kind of.
Well, you think about it. Arizona is time and money. They were looking for a new GM. How do you attract new fans to a sport in a non-hockey market, and then you go and hire a female to be the first GM?
Yeah.
That probably, from a publicity side of things, would have sold them some tickets. Right?
Yeah, and that's why it happens.
But I'm saying it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So clearly, I think it's actually looked at it from.
I just don't know.
Has the qualifications for the job.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be a great moment when that happens.
It will be, for sure.
Yeah. And
no different than when Mano played in that game.
Exactly.
Right?
And I couldn't recommend. And there's actually going to be a movie about that.
Wasn't Wickenheiser playing in a men's league in Europe?
Yeah, she played in Finland.
Yeah. So
But I think when it comes to competition, playing, men and women shouldn't be playing against each other.
No, and I don't think it has to do with the talent.
And that's why what you're saying about why couldn't a woman be a general manager of an NHL team? Totally can, because the qualifications for the job are evaluating knowing hockey.
Right.
Like that's the thing, being a smart hockey mind.
They're not the one on the ice playing. Right?
Yeah. Wow, what a great topic to get me on eggshells here.
I don't think you're near eggshells.
I felt on eggshells.
I was trying to get you on eggshells the whole time.
Oh, really? Okay, give me a new topic.
You don't want to go on eggshells?
Huh? Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be the Chuckin Nucks Podcast if I didn't play it a little bit loosey-goosey on the edge.
The way you looked at me was a little bit scary.
Yeah, I know.
I think on that note, I'm going to go home.
Oh, I thought you were going to need to have a shower, but okay.
I don't know.
Dude, I think we've talked about almost everything. I don't even know how long we've been going.
Me either.
Because we don't have the timer like we usually do. We're doing this different so you guys get the video content because I look damn good.
No. But anyways.
All right. So it's harvest time around where we are.
Yeah, plus I've got a couple other things going on.
Yeah, you're kind of doing a few things, eh? Yeah. Oh, at least we'll still see each other now if you need help doing those things.
No, well, yeah, I guess. If you
want. Okay, fine. Fuck.
Okay, bye. Even though this is your house. I don't want your help anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? The windows are too nice?
Yeah, that's what it is. Exactly. But anyways, fuck, I gotta stop saying that.
All right, here's the thing.
So if it rains between now and free agency and it happens to work out, we'll get another.
Yeah, we'll try to.
Episode in. If not, then it'll definitely be the end of October-ish.
Like always.
November, and then now it sounds like we'll be waiting until January for some hockey.
Yeah. And you know what else is
I'm okay with that, actually, because that means we have full attention
on our hockey. Oh, yeah.
On what?
Our hockey, right?
No, on the World Juniors that are going to be in the
bubble. Oh, yeah. That'll be cool.
That would be
cool. That would have been a great story to talk about during the meat of the podcast.
All right. Well, welcome to the meat of the podcast.
Episode 2. Hold on.
There isn't really much to talk about other than that they've moved.
Yeah, it's all going to be in a bubble.
It's all in Edmonton in a bubble.
And that's awesome.
Actually, honestly, they didn't say the date, but I would imagine the dates are staying the same.
Yeah.
And if the NHL doesn't start till beginning of January, well, World Juniors is World Juniors. Mind you, I guess during that time, usually NHL has a couple days off. And
yeah.
It kind of staggered days off or whatever.
Either way, we can focus on that then.
Yeah, well, we'll know more, and we'll have lots to talk about with what the season's going to look like.
You betcha.
Bubbles.
Potential short. We're gonna make season 3 happen. It's gonna be a little bit more tame, obviously.
Yeah.
I just feel so old right now. I'm looking at us in video, and I see dark circles under our eyes. Not because we're half cut like we used to be, but now it's just because I'm 30.
Yeah, it fucking hit you hard, man.
It did. Oh, wow. Look how dark my eyes are.
Don't you think it's amazing because the light is creating a shadow right under your eyes?
Oh, you're right. Oh, I look young again. It's amazing. That's stuff you guys don't get on the podcast. So go watch the YouTube video. All right. So thank you guys so much for listening. Also, I'm trying to produce content, doing top 10 lists. Yeah, stuff that's just fun for me when I'm stuck here on a rainy day. So hopefully we can make some of that stuff work out. We'll see how. Yeah, we're just gonna keep doing what we do. We don't care if 3 people listen, 300, 3,000, 3 million.
Well, 300,000.
300 million. Oh, I missed one. Anyways, it's just fun for us.
Yep.
And we always do this where we kind of ramble on at the end. We really don't need to. So thank you guys so much for listening.
Okay, bye.